Hello guys, welcome to Social Studies class. This is Mr. Clark, your teacher. Today we are going to be looking at the concept of the family. Right now, this is a concept that is usually done at the grade 10 level. It is a concept that is fairly easy to understand, but nevertheless, we are here to assist anyone that might be having difficulty in understanding this concept. Right now, to start off with this concept, we would really like to assist you in, formulating a definition for the term family. To me, family is the concept of family is universal, right? But in modern society, you might find that there are one or two modifications to, accept or to tolerate new types of families that have emerged over time. However, the definition that I like to work with is the family is a group of individuals or a group of persons related by blood, marriage, or adoption and share the same dwelling place, right? Now, the latter part of that definition is one that usually raises a lot of questions because students are constantly asking, what about the persons that I don't live with? For example, I have a sister that lives in Clarendon, right? Isn't she my family because she obviously does not live in my household? What about my brother in St. Anne? Isn't he my family? Right? Technically speaking, and for the purposes of social studies, that person would not be considered your family. That person would be considered as your relative, right? Because in the pure sense of the word family, family are persons that live together under the same roof and, as I said, are related by blood, marriage, or adoption, right? Now, another question that I've encountered as it relates to the definition of the term family is what if you rent a place, you rent an apartment, and then there are several other tenants within that same household, right? They have also rented separate rooms, but all of you are living in the same household. Are you a family, right? Now, the answer to that is no, you are not a family because you are not related by blood, you are not related by marriage, neither are you related by adoption, right? So, the family, I think there are two main components of the definition. You have to be related either by blood, marriage, or adoption, and sharing the second component, of course, sharing the same dwelling place, right? So that is the definition that I like to share with my students. Family is a group of persons that are related by blood, marriage, or adoption and share the same dwelling place. Now, there are certain characteristics, of course, that you can use to help you to identify a family properly. For example, families usually have, there's usually a family surname, right? So that is one of the characteristics of a family. What we mean by that, even though this is not always the case, there's usually a common surname within a particular family unit, right? So you might find that this family, the surname in this household might be the Browns. You might find that you have a Clark's household, you have a Edwards household, and so on and so forth, right? So there is usually, though not always the case, there's usually a common surname within a family unit. As was mentioned, another characteristic is residence, right? As I said before, families usually live together. They usually share the same dwelling place, right? Third characteristic, tradition. There are certain traditions that are usually passed down within a family unit, right? It might be that every Christmas time you bake a cake, right? It might be that it might be political as well, right? Where you find that within the family setting, all members of the family usually supports the same political party, right? So that is tradition being passed down, right? So traditions are usually shared within family units, right? It can be economical where you find that this person had a business, the father had a business, and then the son come up and take over the business, and that business is passed down from generation to generation, right? So certain traditions then are passed down within family units. Um, Intimacy, that's another characteristic of a family, right? There's usually a certain level of closeness within the family unit, right? Usually comes from the fact that some members of families usually they share the same room, they share certain things within the family, right? Sometimes you find that economic constraints cause them to be sharing probably the same clothes, right? You find that two brothers might wear the same pants, some yeah, and two sisters, of course, might wear the same dress, and this usually results in a close knit, right? There's a level of intimacy within the family, right? Emotions, another characteristic that we use to really identify families, right? Emotions are usually floating around within the family unit, right? Sometimes the emotions move from one extent to the next. Sometimes it moves from hate to love. Sometimes members of the family unit share happiness, joy, anger, frustration. All types of emotions are usually floating around within a family unit. Recreation also, you find that most family members, or family units rather, they share certain recreational activities. It might be going to the beach, going to the movies, whatever the case may be, right? Playing a game together, stuff like that. Recreational activities are usually shared among family members. Religious practices also, you find that whenever you have whenever you have family, you normally find that all members of a particular family are usually associated with the same religion or the same denomination, right? Members of the family usually, for the most part, not always, attend the same church, right? So these are some of the characteristics that you can use. As I said, you will not find them in every family, but these are some of the characteristics that you can use to help you to identify a family, right? Now, usually when I teach family, we usually also look at types of families, right? Now, the most basic types of families, most of you out there already would know them. You have the extended family, you have the nuclear family, the single parent family, the sibling household family, and the reconstituted or joint family. Some people also refer to this family type as the blended family, right? So these are the different family types. Now, let me just give you a brief description of each family type. Now, the nuclear family, as most of you would already know, is that family type with both parents. So you have mother and father and child or children, right? So it is said to be the more balanced family type because you have both parents living in that type of family, right? So as I said before, it consists of the mother, father, and a child or children, right? Now the extended family now is one that consists of many different generations. It is usually a very large family, right? Now this family is usually the family that consists of grandparents, parents sometimes, uncles, aunts, cousins, and so on and so forth, right? So this family type, as I said, is one that consists of many different generations, and it is usually the larger type of family. You also have the single parent family. Now, for single parent, you have two types. You have single parent male, and you also have single parent female, right? Because the parent in the household may be a male father, or it can be a female, which is the mother, right? So, those are the two types of single parent families. You also have the sibling household. which is usually a family without parents, right? So usually the parents are absent for whatever reason. We'll get into the reasons later on, but usually it's a type of family that consists of brothers, siblings, right? Either brothers alone, sisters alone, or brothers and sisters, right? Sibling household, as the name suggests, consists of. There's usually an elder sibling that is in charge, right? Whether it be an elder brother or an elder sister, they are usually the ones that are in charge, and the rest of the family members usually look up to them to make decisions on behalf of the family because there's no parent in that family. And the last one now, the final family, is the reconstituted family or the joint family. And as I said before, some people also refer to it as the blended family. Now, as the name suggests, this is a family unit that it's a combined family then, right? Which is basically made up of two separate families coming together, right? So it might be a case where these are two parents that were in a different family type. Their families broke down and they have decided to come together now and form a new type of family, right? So it might be a man and his son, a woman and her daughter. The man and the woman get together, they come together and form one family unit, with the children, of course, right? So those are the five main types of families that exist throughout the Caribbean and by extension the entire world. That is it for today. Let me hope that you would have learned something from this video, and I will see you in the next class.